So, welcome to a new video of James Speed Show. Back to the project, and it's time for the exhaust. So I did already some work. I put the engine back in the car, and also have the manifolds already welded up with the new connections. I had to, 3 of the 4 manifolds need to be changed. I can show you a picture. I hope it will show up now here. So I got also the manifolds mounted back in the car, so I can show you that. So on this side it is very tight. I don't know if you can see it. The 2 connections need to be routed next to the steering box axle is going to the steering axle. So one goes up, so it's pretty tight. So now you can see why I modified the top of this mount, that it needs to be lower to get the 2 pipes through. So on this side that's already done. So the manifolds are in, 2 pipes are going out. Only thing on this end needs to be pipe mounted up till here, and then they will go together to one 2 1/4 pipe, and then go around here, and then there will be mounted the muffler. So what I'm now going to do is get the pipes through this small narrow space, and then the same as here, then get the 2 connections on that go from 4 till 2 separate pipes, and then 2 separate pipes into the muffler. So I got here the original pipes still laying around. This is from the this is original. This is also stainless steel, so I'm using those front flanges and as much as pipe as I can use, because they are still in very good shape. So this small piece I'm not going to use, as you can see, but it's a little bit more flat. I think it's used to do with the mounting in the original car. There was not a lot of space. So the best thing is to use just the front ones. Maybe the bends are easy to use, and then weld it all back up. So for the muffler, I don't know if I show it already, but I have these 2 mufflers. This is an X-pipe muffler. It's 2 times 2 1/4 inch in, 2 1/4 inch out. Look if I can show you through the light. If you can see it a little bit. It's maybe mislit too. You can see there's an X-pipe in it. So this will get the sharp edges of the sound off, and an X-pipe always gives you a better torque delivery. That's what I could find due to information. So that was also what I need, and I also need to get the car on paper that the sound is not too much. So this is a muffler that goes from 2 times 2 1/4 inch in. You can see it over here, and 3 inch is out, or it's going 3 inch in, 2 times 2 inch out. So this will be mounted in here with no space. So 2 pipes out, 2 pipes will go out here. On this side 2 pipes will go out. Then 1 3 inch that's the inside, will go underneath the axle, and will be also split from 2 1/4 into 1 3 inch and go back in the muffler. So that's where I am right now. So this is also pretty interesting to see. This is the old exhaust. I removed all the insulation just to see how Mercedes did it. So normally this is the kit converter, of course. This is the outside of the kit converter, so it's the way back around. So this inside is mounted on the back on there. So as you can see, here are the 2 pipes coming from the manifolds, and you can see how flat this is. So I'm going to try to make full advantage of the inside diameter of the pipe, so I'm not going to lose diameter like this, because you completely lose inside diameter due to this. So I also see some tests with exhaust that is not that much performance loss involved, but I just want to have a maximum flow in it. So that's where I am right now. So for the manifolds, I'm not going to film that a lot because it's just very narrow in there. But when I'm at the mufflers, I will make a little bit more videos. So let's start. So at this point, I've got the downpipes also on the driver's side are now in, and I also got the split from 2 to 1 in to the 2.25 inch, and the 2 connections to dismantle it. So these can dismantle then every single downpipe with this manifold, and so there's possibility to remove them. So if you can see, I hope you can see it because you can see how narrow it is. They're routed on the left side of the steering axle to the steering column. It is just pretty tight, but it works. So and the nice thing about a V12 engine is that the engine is not really moving a lot. So this is also the original way of how it was mounted. So you can see I also installed 2 mounting points on the exhaust. This is also how it was installed originally, and it's now installed here also on the original points. So I just modified these to fit my exhaust pipes. So what's the next? I'm going to install the rear axle back in, because that is on top of the exhaust, and I just want to make sure it all fits. So differential goes back in, it's now here. I will mount that back in, and the axles, of course, are the center shaft. And I will mount the left axle also in, because the exhaust is going to be routed around it. So the axle will go in. It will not really have any problems with it, but just to make sure it will fit. So muffler is going in, and then the pipe will go here from 2.25 2 times to 1 3 inch underneath here, and muffler in. So that is the next thing what I'm going to do. So first I'm going to install the differential and the axles. So let's go. vent welded in to the muffler, to the amp muffler. So it's now all spot welded completely, hangs in the rubbers. So it looks pretty good, I think. So it gives you a little bit of an overview. So I got here in the front 2 dowpipes on each side. That's 50mm tubes, like the original diameter. Then it goes from 50 to 60 millimeters diameter. Goes into the mid muffler. That's a X-pipe muffler, like I showed you before. So the original mountings I used and mounted them, modified them a little bit. So this is also the original way how it's mounted. So it's completely solid to the block up till the transmission here. That's also how it is originally. So from up here I got the X-pipe muffler, tube 60mm out of the muffler. Then it goes here from 260 to 176, so this 3-inch. Here is the first rubber mount. So there is some movement in the exhaust. So it hangs pretty good. It's not touching anything else. So here on the top, there's also the original heating plate. So you can see the muffler is a little bit wider. I hope you can see that. It's a little bit wider. That's why it's a little bit lower. But I lowered the cart on the rear wheels, and it's pretty good. So underneath the rear axle, I got about 1.5 centimeters in here, maybe 2 max, just to have some clearance. Also in the back here, there's enough clearance. And then the amp muffler, I already modified this little pipe, because otherwise the 2 outside openings were too much away from each other, I thought. So now this tube will be more longer in this and to the outside of the bumper, and then it will be a little bit more like it should, otherwise they are too far out of each other. So that's how far I am right now. So the next thing is to dismantle the exhaust and need away from the car and do all the welding, and then when that's all done I can mount it again just to test fit it again when it's welded, so it's not it still fits pretty good. And then I can have a look if I need on more spaces, like here a little bit of a heat shield or something. I have to look into that. Also on here behind the rubber mount, on top behind the axle of course, and in the front the pipes up till the first muffler will also be covered with heat wrap. I think that's pretty familiar for a lot of people. So I will do that from off the manifolds up till here. So, and also here, this plate I still have, the aluminium plate. Here will be aluminium plate. Also on this side will be aluminium plated, and everywhere. I also have to figure out something for the steering axle that's no heat, getting straight to the body, and also behind the engine. So the next thing is just welding up the exhaust and then test fitted it again. And after that it will be brake and fuel lines. So this will be removed, and I also have to think about something, because normally the fuel lines here are routed up, and that's also where the exhaust is. So I have to figure out something how I'm going to do that. Maybe I'm going to change the route in here and maybe go up here and then in there. I think I'm going to do something like that. I have to have a look how I'm going to do, because I don't really like that the fuel lines are that close to the exhaust. So I think I'm going to do something like that. Maybe route it over here, or some heat shields, or maybe into the car in here inside and then go on top. I have to have a look. So took me a lot of time. I think in total in hours 20 to 25 hours for this exhaust. It was the manifolds were really, this side was pretty good to do, but that side is very narrow in here. So I'm pleased it worked out this good. So so that's it for this video. Hope you liked it, and if you have any comments or questions about this video, leave them below the video, or just ask me below the video, and see you for the next one. So hope you liked it. If you did not really subscribe yet, In the right corner is my logo. Click on it, go to my main page. Also put the bell on for the new videos. So see you for the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.